What's up, my people? This is ShowBizz, the adult. All right, man, look. I received a question from a show business partner of ours via Facebook. He asked me to analyze Rocky Marciano, him being undefeated. He was speaking about undefeated records and said, hey, compare that to Floyd Mayweather's undefeated record. So, hold on, coffee. Both of these guys, undefeated, many times overrated, many times underappreciated. Rocky Marciano, Floyd Mayweather. Rocky, 49-0. Floyd, it was a goal of his to surpass Rocky Marciano's record of 49-0. He trumped it with a 50-0 record. Rocky Marciano, of course, his 49 victories were accompanied by 43 KOs. Slightly different. With that said, though, a lot of these two guys, including Joe Calzaghe, they just didn't fight long enough, okay, to take that L. The reason why I say that is because Julio Cesar Chavez, he was 87-0 before he took his first loss. If he would have retired then, who would have beaten that? Sugar Ray Robinson, 82-0 before his first loss. There's a lot of guys, right, who could have just really done their thing, trumped their undefeated records by miles, but they didn't do that. Rocky Marciano, he retired pretty early. Vacated the title. But Floyd Mayweather, often overrated, in my opinion, but underappreciated. And this is why I say he's overrated. Many people say he didn't lose, he's the GOAT. Well, that means Rocky Marciano is the greatest heavyweight of all time. Only heavyweight undefeated, right? No. But he's definitely underappreciated, Floyd Money Mayweather. Why? He still fought the fights. He did beat Cotto. He beat Canelo. He beat Sugar Shane Mosley. He beat Manny Pacquiao. He beat Oscar De La Hoya. He beat Chico Corrales. He beat those guys, man. You can't take that from him. But he's not the GOAT. There's many guys that would have beaten Floyd Mayweather, at least in my opinion. Sugar Ray Robinson, Henry Armstrong, Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran, stuff like that. He would have struggled with Wilfred Benitez, Aaron Pryor. You heard me say these things before. Rocky Marciano, though. Let's talk about the Brockton blockbuster, The Rock. Rocky Marciano, 5'10", 5'11", I think he was 5'10 and a half. Often fought in the 180s. Fought at heavyweight, 188. Though he walked around at 210, 212. He said that he wanted to fight at the lighter weight because he wanted to move faster. It was choice. He didn't walk around in the 180s. He was actually a bigger guy. Hit like a mule kick, right? Quoting Mike Tyson about Razor Ruddock. How hard he hit? Let's look at the list. The boxing list by Burt Sugar and Teddy Atlas. Where do they have them as hardest punchers? Hardest puncher. Boxing biggest punchers, okay. They got him rated at 2. They said with 43 knockouts in his 49 fights for a slugging average of 87.7%, The Rock was devastating with his Susie Q right hand. That's right, they call it a Susie Q right hand. Let's look at this. How hard did he fight? Best chins. Oh, wow. Is Rocky Marciano here? He rated number 8, Rocky Marciano. The Rock went through 49 fights and only was knocked down twice. One by Jersey Joe Walcott, and then in the last fight of his career by Archie Moore, okay? Walcott and Moore had 164 recorded KOs between them both. It's Rocky Marciano. Fought with heart. But when a lot of people think of Rocky Marciano's career, it's like, who did he fight, man? Who did he fight? That's the problem. Well, he can't really control that. He fought everyone in his way. Ask Larry Holmes, who did he fight? Ask the Klitschko's, who did they fight? Ask Joe Louis. Joe Louis had the Bum of the Month Club. Who did he fight around that time, right? Rocky Marciano, he did beat Rex Lane. He beat Ezra Charles, one of the greatest of all time, Ezra Charles. He beat Jersey Joe Walcott twice. Jersey Joe Walcott knocked him down in the first round. We know about that. He beat Joe Louis, right? But those guys, both of those guys, over the hill. Rocky Marciano, how good was he? Well, Don Turner. You guys know Don Turner? Old school trainer. Been around for a long time. He trained Evander Holyfield. He trained Kovalev. He trained Klitschko. He said Rocky Marciano would have knocked out Klitschko. He said Klitschko couldn't punch down. Rocky Marciano was the hardest puncher of all time. Don Turner. That's what Don Turner said. Rocky Marciano, The Rock. Great fighter, man. Many people have him listed in the top 10 of all time. And comparing them to Floyd Mayweather and Rocky Marciano, you had one guy who was about preservation. Of course, he was a Ferrari. I told people before, if you're a Ferrari, don't fight like a tank. So, preservation was his thing. Made a lot of boring fights to many people, but if you're a boxing purist, you couldn't believe what you were watching, a very advanced fighter. Rocky Marciano, he was a tank. He didn't fight like a Ferrari. He took thousands of punches. Hold on. It made me think of another list. Fighters with the most heart. Where do they have Rocky Marciano? Rocky Marciano, 6. No fighter was ever more aptly nicknamed The Rock than Rocky Marciano. As indestructible as any in history, Marciano will walk into and through thousands of hard, clean, jolting shots in a manner of a human steamroller to get at his opponent. Wow. In the first fight against Jersey Joe Walcott, Marciano took everything Walcott threw, including being knocked down in the first round and jumping up at the count of 4. Quote by Rocky Marciano. Because I was more mad at myself than hurt. The Rock. Hart, Ben Grimm. So in conclusion, I want to say this about Rocky Marciano being undefeated and Floyd Mayweather being undefeated. Floyd Mayweather, better resume than Rocky Marciano. Better resume. Rocky Marciano, though, how he got his victories, more exciting than Floyd Mayweather's. Both of them great fighters. Rocky Marciano, he should be in anyone's top 10 greatest heavyweights of all time. One of the hardest punchers of all time. Floyd Mayweather, he should be considered one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters of all time. With that said, neither one of those guys fought long enough to do what Julio Cesar Chavez and what Sugar Ray Robinson accomplished. They met their fate, but that's what they were doing. Fighting, pushing themselves for all those challenges. Rocky Marciano, he just said he was done. Floyd Mayweather actually was growing old and he had injuries. But as he grew older, he didn't take the fights. You had Berto. You had the way he approached the fight with Manny Pacquiao. You had the fight with Conor McGregor. Stuff like that. He made sure he preserved his undefeated record. Who do I give more credit to? Both of them great fighters, man. I tell you this, though. Rocky Marciano, one of the greatest fighters of all time. ShowBizz, don't. Hey, look, that's how I feel about both of them being undefeated. Rocky Marciano, he just did his in a different way. He walked through punches. Floyd Mayweather, he made sure he wasn't touched. I'm out. Huh.